So hi everyone, I don't actually have a higher degree apart from my honours, so I'm kind of like the comedic relief tonight. But I'm here tonight to talk to you about what to expect from your honours year and the honours experience from a student perspective. So as all the other speakers, so Professor Lewin and Associate Professor Curtis have mentioned, there's a highly collaborative spirit here at the precinct, so even if you choose one particular department or institute, chances are your project is going to overlap into the other departments, areas of expertise, etc. So you're not going to be pigeonholed into one specific niche area. So honours, what to expect? So I googled honours degree and this was one of the top images that returned, which I thought was pretty funny, but I also thought it was rather apt because that's exactly what I'm here to talk to you about. So I wasn't actually going to talk about my personal experience in the lab as such, but I think in light of the previous talks, I should just mention that my project was heavily lab-based, but it was also entirely clinical. So just because you're doing a clinical project does not mean you won't be doing a whole lot of lab work, getting those experiences, but also just because you're in the lab does not mean you won't have a clinical perspective. There's a very clinical environment here at AMREP, so even if you're doing a mouse-based project or something like that, chances are there will be a clinical element to your project. So once again, very flexible. So when I was preparing this talk, I was trying to think of what I should convey to you and what the thing that jumped out to me most about my honours year, which I did a couple of years ago here. And the first thing was, it was not at all what I expected. So you're all in undergrad, maybe a bit further on, but you probably think honours is going to be a really dry year, it's going to be really hard, it's just going to be one of those hard slog years, try and get through it, try and pass at the end, yeah? But in fact, it's actually a lot of fun. It was not at all as dry as I thought, it was really exciting. So as I said, mine was a laboratory-based project, but clinical. And with that comes an experience that you will not get in any other circumstance, pretty much. It's a really full-on year, but it's really dynamic, it's really exciting. So you're going to have your two worlds. So there's the lab and the office. You're not just going to be stuck at a computer 9 to 5, doing really dry, lots of analysis, etc. You've got the lab as well, which is where you get to do all your best work. And also, if you're not feeling it, you're a bit uncro one day, then maybe you stay on the computer and stay out of the lab. But it's really flexible, and it's really up to you how you manage that. There's also lots of opportunities that crop up during honours that you won't get anywhere else. So whether it's just learning a new protocol, learning how to use a new machine, or even going on a conference, you'll get a lot of opportunities. My advice to you, if you do go into honours, embrace it. Don't worry if you feel stupid, don't worry if you make a mistake, it's the year for just jumping in and doing things. So honours is an incredibly rewarding year. It's hard, it's challenging, I'm not going to lie to you, but it's really worthwhile. It's one of those things that at the start of the year you know absolutely nothing. You spend most of the first couple of months smiling and nodding and hoping your supervisor doesn't realise that you have no clue what's going on. I mean, there'll be a couple of you that probably really switched on, but for me it was, I have no idea what I'm doing. But by the end of it, you finish your thesis, you've done your defence, whatever, you look back and you're actually like, I understand now. I can look at other scientists' research and I understand what's going on, and that's really rewarding, seeing that growth that you get not only as a scientist, but also just as a personal and professional person. I also just wanted to note that honours is a platform not just for going into PhD and academia. That's really an ideal situation because you get to apply all those skills you've learned during your honours. But you can also go on into med, you can also go into teaching, you can do really whatever you like. Honours looks great on a resume, so if you don't know what you want to do, honours is definitely worth considering. So I just thought I'd finish up, because my talk's just a bit quick. If the academic side and the workload doesn't sound really exciting, are real reasons why you should actually do honours. So first, as a scientist, you can dress however you like, as long as you're a PC2, so clothes, shoes, hair back, you can really do whatever you like. Become a redhead, whatever you like. Flexible working hours. I think a lot of the prospective supervisors are probably cringing at that a little bit, but once you're independent in the lab, if you get the work done, you can do it whenever you like. So that makes other life events really easy to work around. The pinnacle of all students, free food. So it's a big precinct, lots of different institutes. Chances are, a lot of days you'll have seminars or morning teas and you'll be able to pilfer something. High-speed internet, used for good, not evil. And finally, scientists are a really nerdy bunch of people, so perhaps you haven't been around many nerdy jokes, but by the end of your year, you'll have a completely different sense of humour, and you'll find things funny that people just don't understand. It's a little niche group. So good luck. I'll be floating around and so will a lot of other PhD students, so if you have any questions, feel free to come have a talk.